even at the mom's birthday party. I can't wait to talk about that episode right there because boy, that was a black ass episode right
Hey,
there.
let's go ahead.
To me, that episode was the epitome of everyone shouldn't be invited to the cookout.
Yeah, because you need a haircut, nigga. Hey, what's up? That's Rashad and Tony. Yeah.
Leave that in. Leave that, 'cause I can take
Oh man. MC Collective. Wonder
it.
Man. A Marvel Spotlight. We watched all the whole season. It was it 8 episodes, 6 episodes.
Eight
I don't know.
episodes, yeah.
It's
Episode.
interesting how Disney and Marvel have been treating certain things. And I re- and this okay, I'm sorry. It's interesting how Disney has been acting.
Mm-hmm.
And there is this thing where something happens and there is a reaction to it. Then there's usually a shift in what happens and the pendulum swings to the exact opposite side of that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you an example. You have in the 90s, you have from let's say 92 to like 90 to 2000, you have
Mm-hmm.
one Bill Clinton, pretty much Democratic led House, Senate for the most part. And then
Deficit to zero. He cut the deficit to zero, Jack.
no, no, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Who was pretty much, you know what I'm saying, free and clear. And a lot of things happen. In 96, you have like Newt Gingrich and the moral majority and all of them. They tried to curtail things, try to drum up support. Of course, way back in the 70s and stuff, you have like, them shifting to abortion rights and all that. So there's a whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2000 comes, y'all like, you know who we don't want to have? We don't want to have Al Gore because we don't like how he looks and he's corny. But we do want some of that old thing. So you got George W. Bush. And when he comes along, certain events happen. And then he's like, hey, we want to keep things as consistent as possible because we scared. And rightfully so. But then by the end of that administration,
You try to get my father.
it is an abject mess in America. Then what did you get? A pendulum swing in the entire opposite direction in one Barack Hussein Obama. Then after that, you get 8 years of Obama. And then you get the rise of first the Whig Party. I think a lot of people forgot about the Whig Party.
Yes,
Okay.
the wig
Because
party.
the
Yeah.
Whig Party then gets transformed into the MAGA movement, Make America Great Again, people. And then we get good old Donald J. Trump. Then we get a respite because we got Biden. Then that was like, hey, that old bastard isn't even competent to be president. We don't even want him to run for reelection. And then you get where we are right now. I said all that to say this.
A nice
The
little political science history lesson there,
I'm just
Rashad.
because
Thank you.
like one thing I tell everybody, recognize your patterns in
Mm-hmm.
life and in general. Right. The sooner you start to realize pattern recognition and
Mm-hmm.
seeing how things are cyclical or
Mm-hmm.
like how like you maneuver through the world, it usually has a certain cadence and a certain there's a certain way that it kind of replicates itself. So
Mm-hmm.
Disney is right now in the most risk averse portion of their life cycle. So they bought a lot of things. They bought Fox, bought Star Wars, bought Marvel, made an MCU, and that was them. Yeah, we got to, scare money don't make no money. So they were,
Hulu. Don't forget Hulu.
oh yeah. I'm sorry, bought Hulu,
Mm-hmm.
and now some of the things that they thought were going to pay them dividends did not work out because just like presidential wise, we had Iger Iger is like, you know what? I'm retiring. So then we got another Bob, as in Chapek, and Chapek was like, you know what we need to do? Streaming. You know what happens in the midst of streaming? COVID.
COVID.
So as we're all home, they're like, yo, we need to be pumping Disney Plus with all the things. So
Yeah.
there were several shows that were greenlit during that time.
Mm-hmm.
This being one of them.
Mm-hmm.
One of the early ones too, because this got greenlit the same time Echo was greenlit, the same time that Ironheart was greenlit. So all this got greenlit around like 2020, 21 time frame. And this was one of the last ones that got made, but it still was shelved, similar to Ironheart. It was like, when are we gonna put this out? Echo was like, you know what? F it. January 24, all the same time. Let's just rip this band-aid off.
Don't forget the other show that was greenlit and they just completely trashed it. The Armor Wars.
I don't even want to get into all that. I want to
Rashad said,
focus on what
Rashad
was
said,
actually.
stop pissing me off.
Yeah, let's just focus on what was actually made.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So around the same time that all these things were getting made, there also was a shift in our country I can't even say the word.
Yeah. Ideology.
Ideologically.
Mm-hmm.
Ideologically. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And that was, we don't care about you niggas anymore. And you guys got too much. And now we got to reel it back because there's no way we can give you this much amount of respect
Mm-hmm.
in general. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the tail end of that, what do we get? Trump back in office. So all these things kind of go back into what I'm saying. So whether it's political, whether it's Disney, anything, it can be this current rise of conservatism that's going on worldwide, not just in America, Australia, Germany, UK, South Africa, just everywhere. You know, Japan.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like Disney right now, they're so averse to taking risk because they think that they're going to take a hit financially. And sometimes we learn the wrong lessons. And with this show, it kind of cemented that to me. They learned the wrong lesson. They learned the lesson that, oh my God, people aren't going to watch the black stuff. When in reality, people will watch the black stuff. And they keep not recognizing that it's not about diversity, it's more about just being correct. Okay? Because I had this thing where I don't care about being right. I'd rather be correct. Because you can be right. The right thing to do at the time may be to scale it back. But the correct thing to do is to acknowledge that, hey, this thing was actually good and it should have dropped a year and a half ago. And it also should have dropped in individual episodes. I'm sorry. Like people online say, oh no, this people would have been mad if they did this week by week. So what? Now, I'm going a little long. I'm sorry. I just want you to think about how the show progresses. So episodes 1 through 3 would have been a great litmus test, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you got to episode 4 and you really realize what the tenor and the color of the show was really about, you'd have been like, oh, they really trying to do something different with this show.
Mm-hmm.
And then it would have spurred more conversation. It would have been actually in the zeitgeist. And then you would have had just not like people like me and you and other fellow black nerds on threads and YouTube actually pushing the promotion of the show for free because we ain't getting paid for this.
Yeah.
So there would have been even more of that. And like that's the part. about this that really kind of pissed me off is because this isn't just a Marvel issue. This isn't just a MCU thing. This is a Star Wars problem. This is a Pixar problem. This is a Disney proper problem. Now,
Mm-hmm.
Disney has to really put their big boy pants on and figure this out. What is it do you really want? Do you really want an audience who is, as you would say, who asked for this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all gave us stuff that we didn't even ask for and tried to then blame it on, oh, nobody's gonna watch this stuff. When in reality, if you took the time to really care about the things, it wouldn't be about what we asked for. It would be about the product that you guys produced. And that's why I'm saying like Wonder Man to me is like the epitome of what's been going on with Disney as a whole. Is that you guys are just scared. And in the words of one Meek Mill, scared money
Money
don't
don't
make no money.
money.
And that has been like the overwhelming problem that I've had with the last, let's say, 5 years of Disney. There have been some great things that come out in that you know what I'm saying, in this time frame. But overall, like y'all scared. That was the first thing I thought about. I said, y'all was scared of this? Y'all was scared of this. Out of all the things, y'all should have been scared of maybe Iron Man. I understand that. I mean, Ironheart. Yeah. Y'all should have really reevaluated Echo midway through. You know what I'm saying? With the dailies that y'all was getting. But y'all was so pressed to make stuff, y'all pushed it right through. So y'all should have been really upset and y'all kind of try to revert with Daredevil Born Again. You know, because then we got this very like hodgepodge of a show. But having Wonder Man be one singular message,
Mm-hmm.
one focus,
Mm-hmm.
self-contained,
Mm-hmm.
heartfelt,
Mm-hmm.
acting ass show. Y'all was scared of that? All right, I'm sorry.
I was just letting you cook, man. I was just letting you cook, Rashad. Because what did I say, Rashad, on our, I believe it was either the year review, but I think it was the no, it wasn't the year review. It was the year preview. What are we excited for?
Yeah.
Episode. What did I say, Rashad? I said Disney, I'm watching y'all. I'm noticing something. I'm not liking it. And I'm watching y'all. And I would just like to say thank you for saying all of that as eloquent as you could, Rashad. I could have done it eloquently, but hey, the porcelain for me was gonna come out and I was gonna say something completely off the hinge on that. So thank you for saying everything I was possibly thinking. No, that I was thinking in a more eloquent way than I would have ever put it. Because as you said, this is what y'all scared. This is y'all man's. This is what y'all was scared of right here. This is a this this wasn't no radical type stuff or whatever. Like you said, I can get it with Ironheart, especially in the climate. Not that I agree, but I get it with the climate that's going on right here. People like this black woman is smart. How dare you do something about this?
Replace Iron Man with a
Man, black
young
woman,
black lady from Chicago of all
Chicago
places.
places.
Ugh.
Oh God, she made a deal with the devil. God Almighty.
We told you
I
black people were the devil.
I
Yeah.
can get that, but this show, as you said, it had emotion, it had heart, it it had what you're looking for in a show that is almost like a mini series or a sitcom show and stuff like that. And I want to say I thoroughly enjoyed it. I remember I did forget that this show was coming out because once again, Disney, I'm keeping an eye on y'all about certain properties. Y'all are not promoting. Y'all did not properly promote this. Y'all didn't properly promote Ironheart, and y'all definitely didn't properly promote Echo. And y'all basically did it in my most uneloquent way, is because you're dealing with a set of people in this, not just country, in this world, who hate brown and black people. And they
Yeah.
think the only thing that us brown and black people are supposed to do is shoot a ball, run with a ball, sing and tap dance for y'all. Putting us in putting us in positions of power and everything like that really, really bothers y'all. It really showed it bothered y'all when Black Panther 1 came out and the unity that came amongst us. I'll never forget, they was in Japan, as you said, and they was asking people who went to go see Black Panther, hey, what did you think of it? It was okay. I didn't know it was going to be that many black people in it. Those were actual quotes from people in Japan about this. I'm done. I think you're done about your rant. Let's talk about this show.
All right. All right. So again, Wonder Man, I just want to give a huge shout out to everybody that was on creative for this and everybody who was, because there's a lot of Hollywood people, a lot of like smaller like character actors and like sketch people, people do improv. So there's a lot of like, people who are in
Yeah,
Hollywood who did that type of stuff. And it's funny
yeah.
because I really had to kind of think about why I like this show so much and I hated the and I did not like the studio. So, and I had to come to the conclusion that I figured out why I didn't, because with the studio, it was more like just people trying to get movies made and just like the haphazard way, and I just couldn't connect with it. People love that show. I did not like the studio.
The studio.
And
That's the
when with Seth
show where
Rogen.
Seth Rogen. Yeah, man. A lot of people really, really, really love that show. I have no interest in seeing it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I
And,
watched 2 episodes.
and I
Like,
like Seth Rogen. I'm a Seth Rogen fan, but I just
yeah, I could take him or leave him, but like
yeah.
yeah, I just wasn't feeling the fact, just wasn't feeling it. So Wonder Man, like a lot of like earlier on, they were trying to kind of pitch the show as kind of like that. But to
Mhm,
me, it's different because it's almost the like I gotta get it out the mud approach to it.
mhm,
And I like that better.
mhm.
It just from a storytelling standpoint, it is more of a it's more compelling to me. I don't yeah, go ahead.
Question. With this show, it wasn't until probably about a week or two out before the show came out that I realized that the character Simon was going to actually have powers in this, because the way they kept promoting it, it was, hey, this is a guy who wants to play this role of this character that is a superpowered character, you know what I'm saying, within the MCU, because everyone knows it. So I didn't have a clue or an inkling. And like, I know the Wonder Man character, did my research and everything on it. And yes, he was a stuntman actor, B-list actor, or whatever, who had powers in this, but they kind of promoted it like Yahya Mateen character wasn't going to have any powers. He just wanted to play. Am I tripping off of that, or
Nah, that is correct. It was just like, hey, there's a character
uh-huh.
in universe called Wonder Man,
Uh-huh.
and Yahya Abdul-Mateen is going to be a working actor
Yeah, who
who's
wants to
trying to
be
play that role. That's
right,
really it.
right. And it wasn't until literally like 2 weeks out before the show starts, you start seeing other little, when they did promote it, or else when they did show a new trailer, you see that he had powers, and you was like, oh, didn't know this was going to happen type thing. Or what, that's just something I was curious of if you felt that way like
Nah,
after you
because
seen it.
it's funny you mention that because after um the first like trailer for it, I
Mm-hmm.
stopped watching the like like the little shorter trailers and the
Mm-hmm.
little kind of like 15-second spots before shows like the lead-ins or whatever. I
Mm-hmm.
stopped watching those, so I didn't really have an understanding if he was gonna have power or not.
Mm-hmm.
And even that, like I didn't know how they were gonna introduce his power, which I kind of want to talk about now
Mm-hmm.
because the way that the show is set up, you don't really know if he got power or not until like he has like the version of powers that like I can't control yet, and they only manifest when I'm under duress.
Mm-hmm.
So the dude that's from from Department of Damage Control, like
Yeah.
he
I
not
hate him.
wrong for saying that that Simon was dangerous because he definitely was.
Yeah, but I hate
But
that dude. Yeah, I hate that dude.
because by the end of this, when he just wrecks the whole soundstage,
Yeah.
it's like, yeah. He got to get
Yeah.
this under wraps.
Yeah. Even at the mom's birthday party, with the when the brother, I can't wait to talk about that episode right there because boy, that was a black ass episode right
Hey,
there.
let's go ahead.
All right, fine, let's go ahead. So, well, I know we're jumping all around on this show or
It don't
whatever like
matter,
that.
man. We
It
just
don't
talking.
matter. We just talking. To me, that episode of the birthday party for his mom, for me, was the epitome of everyone shouldn't be invited to the cookout.
Expound.
Okay. So, you know how in the black culture, if a white person or, mainly a white person does something pretty cool or they seem to be down with the culture or whatever, what's the first thing they want to say, Rashad?
Oh yeah, we let him come to the
He
cookout.
comes to the cookout. He invited to the cookout or whatever. This whole time, Trevor was playing Simon's in his face trying to get information and he befriended him. And this is to me when my black alarm would have went off. When Simon was like, "Oh man, I gotta go to Pomona for my, what I'm saying, for my mom's birthday party." And this man that you just met is like, "Hey, can I come?" Nigga, I don't know you to be around my family. You know what I'm saying? To be around my family like that. And that was one point when I said, "That's a point off your black card, Simon, for doing something like this." So he takes Trevor to the cookout and he gets there. And what does the mom do? Oh my God. Oh, who is this? Hey, he don't never have no friends. Okay, cool. But what does Big Brother do? Big Brother's looking like, hey man, who is this nigga? Like, who is this guy? Whatever. Like, who is this guy? Oh, he's one of my friends. Oh, okay. Why are you here again? Type thing or whatnot. And
And
you
there was
can
a there was
tell,
a hold on. Weren't you the Mandarin?
yeah, like, which to me was one of the funniest, like,
The funniest running
replayable
jokes, yo. It was
running jokes
hilarious.
in the whole series. Weren't you the Mandarin? Ah, yeah, this and that or whatever. And the brother already was peeping game from that point forward. Like, what? And then he's being weird there. He's asking people, so what you know about Simon? And stuff like that. You Simon's friend. You're supposed to be Simon's friend. You should know this. And stuff like that. This is what I mean. Everyone shouldn't be invited to the cookout. Also, what I love about this episode is this. Black families can be so messy. Black families are so messy. When he was talking to the one, I think, aunt, and she was saying, like, I ain't never like his ass anyway. I ain't never really like him anyway. And Trevor was like, well, whatever, F you, he's great and stuff, and let's leave him alone. And then when the cousins are like talking, the cousins are talking to Simon. And this goes to show you that Simon ain't really close to his family. He not even been around his family like that. Like Rashad, we talk about it all the time. Black cousins, even black play cousins. We talked about it in our Game of Thrones season 1 of House of Dragon. Y'all can go back and watch that, episode or whatever. We talk about how, like, black play cousins. We all know each other. Blah blah blah. We know about each other. They was talking to Simon like, oh, blah blah blah. And I love the callback of I love me some Captain America. And we knew which Captain America she was talking about. She was talking about Sam Wilson. And you know how he was like, well, he just throws a shield or whatever like that. She's like, whatever. And they started talking trash about him in Creole in front of him because they're Haitian. And he's like, y'all do know I understand. I'm like, I can. And then still kept talking trash about, and he's like, I can hear, like, hey man, it was a complete algorithm. And then too, I'm not an immigrant black person. I'm from here, but I'm have friends who parents were immigrants coming in, and everyone is riding Simon's ass because he isn't in a to what immigrant blacks like that's African Haitian feel is a viable, you know what I'm saying, career. Rashad, you and me know we've seen them. Most people that we know that are like parents of kids of immigrants, what they want their kids to be: doctor, lawyer. You know what I'm saying?
Engineer,
Engineers,
something that they
scientists.
think is going to give them
Right,
long sustaining income and
right.
success.
And you can send money back home to the family too to help out in that situation.
That right
I
there.
did
Yeah.
love the scene when they had the tub and everybody, because they said that is a Haitian thing, or where they was putting like goods and products in the tub to send back the family back home and stuff like that. This man, they're like, "Oh, what are you?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm an actor." And his brother's like, "Yeah, uh-huh, yeah, I'm now the senior vice president at the company, at this company, or whatever. Hey man, if you want, I can get you in. I don't want to beat your dad. Go." He was like, I'll just say, I mean, how long you gonna be doing this? And then he found out that he got fired from the job from American Horror Story, which is also hilarious, knowing that Disney owns Hulu, which is a part of FX and
Yeah, there was a
everything
lot of
like that.
there's a lot of corporate synergy in
Yeah,
this
a
in
lot of
this in the
corporate,
series.
yeah, promoting this stuff and whatnot. And that episode to me was just so good. And then of course, you got the goodwill mother who's gonna always support her baby. That's my baby. I'm always support. And then of course, what the brother do? The brother's like, yeah, oh, you got her. What type of machine was it? He got her. I can't even remember.
Oh, it was an ice cream maker?
Yeah, an ice cream maker. Oh yeah, that I bought for you and stuff. And he's, oh my God, he was just laying into him and stuff. And my man was just stressing because he didn't even want to be at this party. Remember, he really only invited Trevor to be like, "Hey, I need you to be a buffer, to be around me for this." Because he doesn't even like his family, because he doesn't relate to them. Even when they were singing "Happy Birthday" to the mother, everybody was like, "Oh, happy." He was back there like, oh, God, oh man, I gotta get the hell. I got the hives. I gotta get from around these people, man. So yeah, that episode to me is everyone isn't invited to the cookout.
Yeah, and I like the man, Yahya Abdul-Mateen, man. Like that nigga be acting, yo. Like
Yeah.
I just want to talk about like his character
Mm-hmm.
and how he was developed.
Mm-hmm.
And they did a thing where, and I love this
Mm-hmm.
because they did not tell, they showed.
Mm-hmm.
That first episode when he goes, he's on set, and they just show you like how can I say this? His character is the kid or the person that we both know, Tony, that is excellent at what they do,
Mm-hmm.
but nearly horrible at everything else.
Yes.
And being in like, of course, like us being like in band in the arts, we know people who are amazing on their instrument, hella socially awkward,
Yes.
do not know how to fit in, don't understand how they can be in an organization with a bunch of other people around, but
Mm-hmm.
because they do that one thing very well,
Mm-hmm.
instrument wise or like
Mm-hmm.
vocally wise,
Mm-hmm.
then they fit in and they do what they got to do because there's a greater goal to that.
There is a
And
great analogy, Rashad.
that's what I'm saying because like think
Yeah.
about it because there are
Mm-hmm.
people who are amazing at what they do, but
Mm-hmm.
you get them in a one-on-one situation
Yeah.
and they are faltering because they don't know how to really interact. And
Because he did come off kind of, I don't want to say spectrumy, but
just like
socially awkward.
yeah, let's just say that. Let's say he was
Yeah.
very socially awkward,
Mm-hmm.
and because it's kind of the it's not a it was kind of a the product of him trying to mask and hide his abilities.
Mm-hmm.
And some people are saying like, yo, this would be like an allegory for homosexuality. It could be.
Yeah.
Or is this just like a and to me is more of an allegory of how black people can't really be them true selves in all situations.
Yeah.
Because even when he feels like, okay, so imagine you in your element
Mm-hmm.
and you are totally can be who you really want to be.
Mm-hmm.
And Simon, who the person who he wants to be, is the person at the time was the first episode
Mm-hmm.
on stage. I know everything about this character, even though it's a small role.
Mm-hmm.
How about I do this? I know my motivations. I know
Mm-hmm.
he wouldn't do this because I've made this whole thing around it.
A perfectionist.
And niggas is like, oh, okay. That is a series wrap
Yeah.
on Simon. What's his last name?
I don't even remember. What? Hold on.
Is
All
it
I know
William?
is
Hold on, I'm finding
Simon
out.
Williams. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So
Series
that
rapper Simon Williams.
and he's like, what? And
Oh.
and 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 also there's always, even though like you're that person,
Mm-hmm.
there's always somebody that believes that you can be greater than what you are at that point. And that's his agent. Because
Mm-hmm.
she's like, look, yo, did you mess it up or not?
Yeah.
And he was like, oh man, she's like, yo, I told you to go on set, do your job and go
Yeah.
home.
Because you know what Simon is? Simon is team too much.
Oh my,
Team too
yeah.
much.
He is, yo, the
This
epitome of
role,
doing too
the
much.
role
Good
that he
God.
had was short and cut and dry. He was a professor. He was going to talk to this person, and then he was going to die. It was probably, if anything, a 5 minute role, anything like that. And he wanted to make it this great thespian experience and trying to want to make this show, which is American Horror Story, into something that is like a Scorsese level, you know what I'm saying, type, or Scorsese Nolan level type show. And it's like, no, man, it's you are a professor. You and this woman, y'all have had a relationship. You gonna die. That's it. And the thing is, his agent, who I love in this character, I love her. I love her. I think her real name is X. What is her real name? X Mayo. I love her as a character. She was funny as hell because she was just like, I am doing my damnedest to help you, but you
Mhm.
will not let me help you at all. And then she knew about the Wonder Man thing because he was like, I was born to play this role. I need this role. And she's like, nigga, no. I'm not doing this. No. She's like, nigga, no, we're not doing this. She was like, that is Von Kovac, one of the greatest directors in the daggone world. I'm not about to send your anal ass over there to mess it up for my agency right now. Because that's exactly what would have probably happened. And it almost did happen when he got in front of
Oh,
Von
cause
Kovac. That episode, my
bro,
man
he
did a
froze so bad.
monologue for a Pretty Woman,
I
and
was
that is
like,
I was
That
like,
sounds vaguely familiar.
Richard Gere, Julia
I was like, hold on, I
Roberts.
feel like I've heard this before
He
somewhere.
did the
And then he was
monologue.
like, and then mom was like, so you did Pretty Woman. That's not what I was looking for.
Yeah, that's not what I was looking for. And you see, and luckily, one thing about even though Trevor was trying to do a job because to stay out of prison or whatever, he
Absolutely.
really did help this dude a whole lot with his interpersonal communication and how to properly tap into his acting role and then into the stuff because when he was out there and he was like, I can't do this, but he was like, hey man, stop it. Like basically like, hey man, put your big boy draws on. This is what you need to do.
Also, like, gave him some real good, like, just breathing techniques. He
Oh
said, man, I do
yeah.
the square method, man. Hold, no,
One,
breathe in
two, three,
five,
four, five,
hold for
six, seven,
five,
five.
let it go for five, and start again. So, like,
Oh
so
yeah.
there was like, so there's some real like mental health, some mental care,
Yeah.
messages like very succinctly interwoven
Mm-hmm.
into the show. Like, and I can appreciate that. Like, even
Yeah.
though his character is sort of like the bumbling fool,
Mm-hmm.
like there's this message of like you can gain knowledge and insight from anybody. And I
Yeah.
also love how Trevor the entire time, like even when he figured out like, yo, like I kind of like this dude, and I ain't trying to like,
Mm-hmm.
right on my on this young black man. He's like, okay, how can I help him actually do the thing because he is great at what he does. He just
Yeah.
keeps on getting in his own way.
And
And
Trevor sees the self in him.
absolutely.
He sees the type of great actor that he is and stuff. Because Trevor will tell you, I was a great actor, but I fell on hard times and I got in my way. And that's when I got on drugs and I was
Yeah,
whoring
so
around and everything. And
yeah.
then the 10 rings was like, you. We want you to be the Mandarin or whatever.
Yeah, so like, shout out Iron Man 3. So like
Mm-hmm.
it I just really like I connected with Simon because
Mm-hmm.
it's not even because he's black, but that too. But there's because even when it comes to like having to do something, right? I give you an example. I do photography. And I like taking pictures. I'm self-taught. I understand the technical aspects of taking a picture,
Mm-hmm.
what it goes into it. I can recognize a good picture from a bad picture, and I get it. So when I see people who get paid to do this and they consistently take bad photos, I don't understand it in my mind. Okay.
Yeah.
So it took me a long time to figure out what the difference was. And the
Mm-hmm.
difference is two things. One is getting out of your own way, and then two is marketability. And Simon has both of those issues. He can't get out of his own way.
Mm-hmm.
And according, and not according, but looking at how he was going through the basically the job interview he was not marketing himself well. So so that part, I totally understand, you know?
And I feel the same way. I got him too, especially in your profession. Like me, for those who don't know, I work in television. I direct newscasts and stuff like that and other shows and stuff like that. And I used to get in my way whenever I had to do a new show or something like that. I know I've done this directing plenty of times before, but I'll be like, I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I'm the right person for this. Blah, 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 blah,
Yeah.
this and that. Meanwhile, it's people, my managers and stuff that's picked me to do it because they're like, oh, we know you can do this, Tony. And I'm like, and in my mind, I used to be like, yo, you sure? Because I don't know if I can do that. Like I used to
For
get in
real.
my own head in that way or whatever, like, am I good enough? This and that, say whatever like that. Because everyone has fears or whatever. And like I told people, one of my biggest fears was always being a failure. And just being a failure or whatever like that. And that's be like, oh my God, I don't think I can do this or whatever. And then I'll do the show. And once I get in the show and I get my rhythm going and everything, I am perfectly fine. That's how I used to be. That was years ago when I first started directing and everything like that. Now I accept the challenge. Oh, you want me to do this? Bet. watch what I'm about to do here, and I'm about to give y'all some magic and stuff. So yeah, and that's exactly where I think by the end of the series, that's where he's at right now, especially after doing the Iron Man, God, the Wonder Man movie with Von Kovac, and Von Kovac being like, "Hey, I don't believe in sequels. What we just
But
did, I think we could probably do even better, and I am up for that challenge." And he was like, "All right." Simon was like that. He was like, "We shall talk." I love that because you see him in his full confidence from it or whatever. And then even because remember he was stressing. What was the episode? The second to last episode. What's the chick named Frida or what? The
he's talking
man
about he's talking about the daggone
reporter.
Kathy Friedman, yeah, from
Yeah,
the New York
Kathy
Times.
Freeman for the
Yeah.
New York Times. My man was like, "Oh my god, this and that." He thought it was all cool. He was like, "Yeah, you're not even here. You're not even here. I'm just
He was
exactly like."
like, yo, he talked to my brother.
He said, "No, that wasn't the one where she was like, blah blah blah, talk to people here, great. Yeah, anybody else I can talk to in a situation like that, friends or anything." He was like, "No." She was like, "Okay, cool. Yeah, because I plan on talking to your parent, your mom and your brother. And yeah, because I already talked to your ex-girlfriend." My man said, "What?" He was like, he was panicking. And then when he met with her, the weirdest, most awkward thing. Yeah, just catching up. And I love the shout out because there was a shout out to one of your favorite shows last year. She got a role in Severance, Rashad. She had got a role in Severance. She's like, "Oh yeah, that's cool, that's cool, that's cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah." So what the hell you tell this lady? She was like,
Basically.
basically, she was like this and that. And the thing is, he's an asshole, but he's an unknowing asshole because she got like a nice little small role in Severance, and he's doing this big motion picture. And in the asshole way, talking about some, yeah, because I can imagine, you going through that because I got to go through this, I got to go through that, and just kind of like little sistering her with all of the things that he's going through in this that is completely different in a big motion picture than what it would be in a you know what I'm saying, in a as a small role in the thing. And then he realized it. He caught himself and was like, "Oh yeah." She was like, "Yo, you're an asshole." She said, "But you can work on it." She was just like, "Yo, you need to let people in." She's like, "Nigga, I knew you daggone had superpowers. I've been living with you all this time." He says, "I was just waiting for you to say something to me about it, but I guess you never trusted me enough." And then she left him with, "I hope one day you can find somebody that you trust enough to open up to." And that left him feeling like a jackass after that. And I think that was really
Yeah.
eye opening for him. And then when he met back with the chick, the lady, and she was like, "Yeah, talk to you." And he was so nervous about his brother gonna say, because his brother always told him, "Hey, this or that." And then you saw a little tear run down his eye when his brother was like, "Yo, he was so proud of you." He was so proud of you. He talked about like the struggles you went through, how at first he didn't even believe in you. And he's just proud of you. And that really did something for him. It's just great because that scene, because everything that he was worried about was going to be about him. That lady undressed Trevor.
Yo.
She undressed Trevor,
Had that boy naked.
bucket naked,
Fucking
absolutely naked,
naked.
had him down. Trevor snapped on that check. She was like, "We're just trying to figure out you were a national terrorist who didn't finish his sentence, broke out of jail, and now you're just gallivanting around Hollywood, and you are now about to be in a major motion picture. Explain to me how that's about." And the thing is, when she said that, I was like, "That's a good damn point. That is a very good point that no one has ever like."
Nah, they did not question that white man for nothing.
That man was supposed to be what, locked up for 20 some odd years or something like
Yo, a,
that.
a lot of time.
A lot of time or whatever. And he basically snapped on it, and and you know, we see what was the outcome of that, because when he was saying that, when she was saying all that, that's when Simon finally took a step back and was like,
Oh, that do make sense. Why are
yeah.
you here?
And then find out that Trevor was supposed to spy on him. And then we saw what happened. The big meltdown. He blew up the daggone soundstage, and Simon thought it was over. A man thought it was over. He was ready to be like, and Trevor did possibly the most moral thing we've ever seen Trevor do, besides with that little furry animal thing. That furry animal thing.
Morris.
Morris and Shang-Chi, when he basically was like, hey, you good. Don't worry about it. And my man had enough time to cut and edit a video as the Mandarin. And I will say this, Trevor always kills it as the Mandarin.
It's
You you
it's so
thought
good.
you thought it was I did this. I am who I say I am. And that he was like, the guy was like, all right, Trevor, what do you mean, Trevor? I am the Mandarin. Love it because he's so convincing. Because
It's
when
so
Iron Man
good.
3 came out, there was no way you could tell me that twist was going to happen with him. What you know, saying as the Mandarin or whatnot. So I love it, but it puts another track. It puts some more nugget target on your back, Trevor, with the 10 rings and the whole man. You know, saying and the whole Mandarin thing. But he was in the maximum security lockdown prison, and then we see what happened. And going back to Simon real quick, Rashad. Remember how we was like, Simon had always found a way to mess up something. I thought he was about to mess up his part in this Wonder Man when the guy said, "Hey, I found the glasses. These are the ones you want." And he showed it to him, and he was like, "I don't know," he was like, "I don't know this and that. What makes you think these are the ones?" He was like,
Nigga, these are the ones. What are
"Because
you
these
talking
are the ones
about?
for." And he was like, "Oh,
Oh.
oh, oh," and he popped them on, and he felt it, and saying you saw it. That was, I mean, it. Simon's and Trevor's relationship and that whole story was great. I want to talk about possibly my favorite, maybe favorite or second favorite episode. And you know what it is, Rashad.
It's the doorman.
Your man. Go ahead.
This okay, so the the setup for this episode is it's this is why I wish this show was week to week. That's like the main reason because
Yeah.
I would have loved for us to just been able to talk
And
about this
ponder.
episode
Yes.
for 45 minutes and explain to you guys how this is just like an homage to like a lot of things. This was to me like a very like kind of like Hitchcockian type episode. This is definitely like a Twilight Zone of the series. This is very much, if you want to be more recent times, a lot of people point this out, very much a season 3 Atlanta episode when they was abroad and on the European tour, and they would have like these little like go back to America vignettes,
Mm-hmm.
black and white. We're dealing with one person and how they went from such high highs to low lows,
Yep.
and just thematically, just it also encompasses a theme of the show about like Hollywood and all its trappings and how, you can be riding high one moment and then next moment, you know what I'm saying, you in jail forever. It just was a great episode of television. And
Also too, Rashad, how actors get typecast because of catchphrases. Come on, Rashad. How many catchphrases have we heard throughout our lifetime? You,
so
you know,
many.
you know it's probably the most popular one that we knew growing up. Did I do that?
Oh my God. You ain't lying, man.
You know, or else in
Yeah.
Full House, Uncle Joey, cut it out. You know what I'm saying? But I, yeah, man. What his name? What's his name? Dar, Darvin Doorman. But it was just an episode that was just beautifully put right smack in the middle of this show to kind of break it up and to see where his high anxiety comes from. Where it comes from, because he's a superpower being, and because of this gentleman right here, he was unable. Is this gentleman right here? They call it the Doorman Act, where superpowered people cannot be in films or any type of thing with Hollywood because of the accident that happened, and on top of that, it just costs too much to insure. So when Mario Lopez said, "Yeah, to insure something like this, there isn't even a price to it or whatnot, because there is a Hollywood star that is missing still, and no one knows where Gats is at all or whatever." And it also is an episode for me that goes to show that, because he was happy in the beginning with the simple life. Hey man, I'm good being a doorman. I get to meet interesting people. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no big deal. I'm happy where I'm content where I'm at. Even though people told him he should strive for more, he was like, I am content. And then what happened when he did get a little taste of, you know what I'm saying, of success and power? It went to his head, but not really go to his head. But he found out how quick and fast, how things move, because he went from great to this great catchphrase, hosting the MCU version of the Video Music Award, the Video Music Awards, and everything, doing, what I'm saying, doing the daggone little, cameo appearances and shows and stuff. He had his own show and all that, and then it gets to a point where, with us as a society, things get played out and it becomes what, Rashad? Corny. And he found out how corny it became when he did the late night talk show. And my man spent the first couple of minutes of that show frying his ass to pieces. And then what happened? He had his little like George Foreman esque, saying, promotion, where he was promoting
Bro.
George Foreman wives with the little baked potato, the potato thing. And then he's getting sued by people because they were burning their hands on it. Never mind, he didn't create it. He wasn't part of the company, but because he was the face of it, he was getting sued. And I mean, hey, when you become the face of something and things go wrong, hey, they drop you quick. I mean,
Yeah,
look at
man.
Jared from Subway. He had his thing. Never heard. Yeah, buddy. Not comparing it to it, but you know what I'm saying?
I
You
feel
can't.
you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can't be the front man with some issues going on. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Nah, yeah,
So.
it's just a good episode of TV,
Mhm.
man. And and it just shows you kind of like the direction that the show was trying to go in.
Mhm.
And because they name dropped that like the first couple episodes, like
Yeah.
you see he signs the waiver. It's called the
Uh-huh.
Doorman clause or whatever.
Hmm.
And then, it drops to like I think the second, third episode they name drop it again.
Yep.
And then you get a whole entire episode just explaining this one thing.
Yep.
This, yeah, man, like this is why children, kids, young adults, this is why shows used to be 22 episodes long, because then you can actually populate and truly explain the world and world build for real.
Hmm.
And people say, "Oh man, like it's just a bunch of filler and stuff." Like, no, like these episodes wouldn't be considered filler. It just be considered like, hey, like we're gonna stray away from the main plot for a second,
Yeah.
focus on something that actually is a part of the world, but it
Hmm.
wouldn't make sense to just have the whole like main cast in it,
Yeah.
or focus on one character in the
Hmm.
cast and that just be their episode. Like, shoot, it used to be a time where people would have like musicals for episodes because they want to do a fun thing. But
Hmm.
now is the way that streaming is and the way that things are kind of made,
Hmm.
we don't get a lot of those.
I could tell you that the last show I saw that actually was like a 22 episode season or something like that was This Is Us. And This Is Us was a great show. And and it was like this reminds me of it as in how you'll have an episode, oh, only about Sterling K. Brown character. And then they do flashbacks of within that episode of how we got to this point. And at the end of the episode, we go back to, you know what I'm saying? We go back to where we originally started from with this, man. So I yeah, man. I mean, it was a solid, great episode. And it really created and helped with the world building for this episode as far as the doorman and what also caused Simon to have his anxiety.
Yeah, and there's this like just really creative and like clever ways that you can have like these characters like in universe. So if they ever want to come back to this, like they legitimately can, because the doorman is a legitimate Marvel character. It's not a
Yeah.
new creation for the show. So if they want to, like they can. Also, shout out to Josh Gad for just doing something goofy as hell as this. Like his character in this is just so over the top, and it's like and yeah, he was even on threads and stuff like just playing along with it. You know what I'm saying, making post stuff about it. So like shout out to him for being a good
Yeah.
sport. Again, more corporate synergy because you know that is Olaf. So amongst other things. So yeah, man, like there's the way that this show unfortunately is gonna like come and go, like that makes me the most upset
Yeah.
because and I think I don't trying to find a way to say this because this show unfortunately won't get the same sort of following or potential following as let's just say Night of the Seven Kingdoms because I'm seeing like a small little backlash of people not understanding what the show is going to be about and them being
Yeah.
upset that it's not enough action or it's not
Right.
enough people getting raped and murdered and killed. So this
Yeah.
is not like so that part of it for them is like, oh, I don't like it, it's corny or it's too slow.
Yeah. Because there
And
are people who I work with a guy, God bless him, he's my dude or whatever. But he'll be like, hey man, Tony, what you watching? I'll be like, yo, I'm watching this or whatever. He was like, so what's it about? He was like, is anybody getting killed in it? Like that's his thing. I need people to die. I need this and that for a show from him. For a show to be good to watch, he needs people to die. He needs stuff to happen. I'm like, okay, there. You don't need that for every show, but okay. But he tell you, no, 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 no. They have to die. It has to be death, destruction, and stuff like that. I'm like, do you, my buddy?
and it's kind of like indicative of the world we're in. It's like
Mm-hmm.
nobody wants to
Slow
true
burn,
like not even a
microwave.
slow burn, just like build some character, like understand like people motivations and not just be like bang boom boom explosions. Because what's gonna happen is that you're just gonna have a bunch of like run of the mill like Netflix style shows all the time, and it's gonna be like we're conditioning the audience to only want like a couple of things, and if they don't fall in those categories, then it's a problem, and that's another reason why like I think Disney was kind of scared of this because they didn't know how this was gonna week to week would be how the audience would respond to this, and I think that's the problem because you can't make a show like this and think it's going to be for everybody. You have to
Right.
accept at the onset that everybody's
Everything
not
ain't
going to like this,
everything ain't for
but it's
everybody.
still going to be part of the MCU. And also the writers made this show to where you don't really got to know a whole lot about the MCU to like or and enjoy the show. So they even gave y'all an out for it, which is like very generous to me. So the fact that people didn't like the show for like, the lack of action, or they just didn't want to see people, basically walking and talking. Like, whatever. Like, I get it. But
Yeah.
the fact that I kind of echoed this like when I first started to talk about this on Threads. The fact that we got Yahya Abdul Yahya Abdul-Mateen the second
Mhm.
and freaking Sir Sir Ben
So,
Kingsley
Ben Kingsley.
on a television show acting side by side together,
Hmm.
that is a blessing.
Hmm.
Like, that shouldn't be a thing. Sir Ben shouldn't be in the MCU
Mm-mm.
at all.
Mm-mm.
It's like, to be honest, at this point, it's kind of beneath him to be in it. And
And if
he said,
Yahya was going to be in MCU, it should be a character a little bit more important than what
yo,
we
he could
have.
have been,
Because remember, I
yo,
said I wanted him to be the new Black Panther. I want him
you
to
did.
take.
You said that a long time ago.
I said I
So he
wanted
could
him.
have
Yeah.
easily been.
Uh-huh.
He could have been T'Challa. He
Uh-huh.
could have been Blue Sentry.
Yeah.
He could have been a litany of characters, and did an amazing job. But I
Yeah.
do appreciate
Yes.
the role that he took, and also just how serious everybody took it.
Hmm.
Because even though the show is kind of like, is almost like functions as a sitcom at
Hmm.
some points, it's still, you could still, there was some earnest and some care to how the show was written and made and directed and performed. So for that, it's like, it's a W for me. Like, I
Yeah.
was not expecting this show to be this good.
Yeah.
And it's a very early win to me for us, the audience, and even for the MCU, who is very reluctant to actually even show what they made. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's really
Yeah.
all I got for this.
That's all I got too, man. Great. I thought it was a good show. And only other question I have is where we go from here, as I always say with WandaVision.
Absolutely no clue. This
No
may
clue.
go nowhere.
Yeah.
Been seeing it, but then if there's a good audience
Yeah.
reaction to this, and let's just say like if we get another like week and a half, 2 weeks of people still talking about it,
Hmm.
then
Yeah.
that should tell you like, yo, like y'all was really being some little pussies about this, and y'all should have
Yeah.
been dropped this.
Straight
So
hose.
yeah.
Hmm.
Oh man, what's next for us, Tony? We have
A Night of the Seven Kingdom, episode 3.
three tomorrow,
Tomorrow.
7 p.m. tentatively, as long as I can get that out on time, but definitely tomorrow. We got Paradise season two's coming up pretty soon.
Yes, Paradise season 2 is coming up pretty soon. I can't think of.
Some other stuff, man. I
Yeah,
just
some
don't know on
other
top of
stuff.
my head. But yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
stuff gonna be
Also,
dropping.
if there's something you guys want us to cover that we haven't talked about in our what we're looking forward to
Hmm.
episode over on the Upon Further Review proper, let us know in the comments. And if it's something that we deem that we can watch, you know what I'm saying,
Hmm.
then we'll do that. As of right now, I just been watching Jujutsu Kaisen season 3.
Me myself,
Good time.
I watched volume 1 of Bridgerton
Yeah, I'm about to ask you
or
about that. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
so volume 1 of Bridgerton, which was pretty cool, pretty decent. Interested where they're going this season with that. And I also told you before, Rashad, I don't think I said it on the show. I am actually binging Breaking Bad, which I have never seen before. I think I'm in getting ready to start season 4 now, or whatever. Everyone always tell me about how great the show is, and this show's like one of the best shows of all time. Watching it, enjoying myself for the most part, or whatever.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Speaking of Netflix, watch His and Hers with Valkyrie and the Punisher. That was
Tessa Thompson and
yeah,
Tessa Thompson and John Barenthal. Like, oh, god damn, yeah. I put that is definitely on my watch list.
very interesting watch. I feel like
Mhm.
yeah, I had thoughts about that when I was done. But
Okay.
yeah, very very interesting. It's like a murder mystery. So, I love a
Okay.
murder mystery. But yeah,
Yeah. Hmm.
after you finish that, we'll talk offline about that.
Yeah. We'll talk.
But no, man. That's it, man. We appreciate y'all. We see you guys tomorrow, Lord willing. Follow us on all the things, especially here on YouTube, trying to get to 10K. Don't play games with us. Subscribe.
Yes. Like,
If you're on the short
subscribe,
side, subscribe. You know what I'm
share.
saying? Comment. Talk
Mhm.
about it. Share with your little friends out there. You know what I'm saying? But
Oh,
yeah.
also too, Super Bowl week.
Oh, that's
I
thank
just
you.
thought
Thank you.
about that.
Thank
Glad to
you.
bring that
So,
up.
so yeah. So
We
yeah,
know
we
some
will
we
we
know
will
some
have
fire is coming out Super Bowl Sunday. So we
we
definitely will
will have a
be.
recap
Yes.
next Monday aside from, and also they're probably gonna show Night of Seven Kingdoms probably early. They'll probably show like Saturday,
Oh yeah.
knowing that ain't nobody gonna be watching that on Sunday.
Yeah, everybody watching
So
Super
they're
Bowl
probably
Sunday.
gonna, yeah, well,
Hmm.
I'll check the listings for that. They're probably gonna be either Friday or Saturday. And
Hmm.
if we can get the show and we'll get it in. If not, then
Yeah.
we'll just do it all on Monday. But
Hmm.
yeah, that is it. And don't but I probably will be doing if something crazy drop, if we get that Avengers drop, I'll be doing a I'll be doing real-time
I,
reactions,
I plan
posting
on
them
being
same
home for the
day.
Super Bowl, so just hit me up. Just hit me up. I plan on being here for the Super Bowl,
We'll do.
unless anything changes. I plan on being home.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
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 we'll do
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Uh,
But yeah, man, we appreciate y'all. See you next time.